you ready? You there?
Hi, Obi.
Hi, Emily. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, honey?
Doing good. Just wake up.
Must be nice. Elvis, for you guys to bounce back the way you did in the series against the Angels, I mean, that was kind of a pivotal moment. Woody talked about it at length. How big was that, not just to get the series win, but to get the sweep?
It was huge. I think that as a team, we felt that was going to happen. We felt we were like close to, to get hot and start winning series like we did, in the last one. And then, I mean, when we play Oakland, we know we lost all three, but we had an opportunity to win two at least. And we did not play too well those three games. So knowing that, coming back home and just keep fighting, keep pushing, staying together as a team, be accountable to each other, knowing that sooner than later it was going to happen. So really happy to see that swept, and we got to do and have the same mentality. The new series we start tonight.
Personally, Elvis, I know how big was yesterday? I know this hasn't been the start that you wanted to get off to. You expect more of yourself. The team expects more from you. Where do you feel like you are, just from an on-the-field standpoint at this point in time?
Yeah, no, yesterday was huge. I've been fighting a lot with my approach, my timing, hitting too many balls in front of me. Like my point of contact was too in front, and that's something that I've been working with, Luis and Krabby and Alex to let the ball travel, trying to see the ball a lot better than what it's been so far, and it's kind of being weird because actually, last 2 3 years, the best that I've been doing is starting the season. So, I have a lot of confidence that this year is going to be the opposite. It haven't been a good start, but it's going to be a strong finish. But, just keep working. It's only been 7 8 games, so just continue to work in the cage and believe in my ability and knowing that go out there and do what the game is asked me to do and trying to continue to keep winning.
Do you feel a more intensified pressure because the season is so shortened?
I cannot do that. Even if I wanted to, I cannot. I mean, it's not good to think that way. I know I won't be able to have the 600 at bats, but like I say, it's only 40 or 50 at bats, and you have a good week, and your numbers can change, dramatically. So I'm just trying to stay focused on winning games right now, and believing on myself, believing that I'm going to make that adjustment, and I know sooner than later the numbers will be there.
Roogie also off to not, the start that he wanted to. Where do you what have you tried to do for him as a friend and a teammate to try to, kind of you guys maybe both work your way out of this thing together?
Yeah, no, we're working. We're working a lot. I always work with Rugi a lot, and I know how much he work in the off season, and how well he looks. So, I always tell him the same thing. It's too many at bats. Like stop thinking about the past. Don't let that to get back in your head. And for him, that's gonna be the biggest thing. As long as he can stay strong mentally and just go out there and compete and just enjoy the game, I think he's gonna be fine. So, I mean, everybody support him, and everybody's here to help him. And we know he's gonna be huge for us because we know what he can do and how much he meant for the team.
Any other questions? Evan.
Elvis, I've noticed in the last few games that your swing, you've had different swings. There have been some days that you've had the leg kick, and some days where it's kind of just a real small toe tap. Are you noticing that you're getting off different swings, and what's your thought about that particular element?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm always been a player that had kind of two approach. I got my leg kick from a few years ago, and I got my early toe tap that I always do with two strike, and you in this game I learned that you have to make an adjustment as quick as you can. I don't want to wait 100 150 at bats to make an adjustment, and especially during the game, if I feel I have a better opportunity, a better shot to get on base or to bring a run, on my two-strike approach, I will make that adjustment right away. But for me, always been like that. I'm always gonna go with the one that is, feeling better, that I've seen the ball better, having better at bats, and at the same time continue to work on my leg kick. But I mean, yesterday I feel a lot comfortable with my leg kick, so just keep working on that and believing in my abilities and knowing that sooner than later I'll be back on track.
But I correct me if I'm wrong. I thought one thing that this club really wanted was when Woody's talked about driving the ball and hitting the ball with more authority, the leg kick kind of plays into that. Do you feel at all like because of the slow start, you're having to, for lack of a better term, chase hits a little bit just to get started?
Well, not really, because I hit a lot of balls on my two-strike approach. I drive in a lot of balls in my two-strike approach too. But for me, like sometimes you gotta walk before you gotta crawl before you walk, and it's not easy, just stand out there and driving balls all over the field. So sometimes you gotta start thinking small, get my hits, get on base, and then as soon as you feel comfortable, sooner than later, the extra base and the homers come along. So that's the way I always been playing this game, knowing that there's gonna be some years when you start hot and you're driving the ball and the homers and the extra base there happen, and it's gonna be some years where you have to get back to the crawling part and get your hits and get on base, and then believing that as soon as you keep working hard, the driving and the homers will come.
Great, thank you, sir.
You're
Other
welcome.
questions? PR.
Elvis, do you ever think, since you've been here for 10 years and been so successful here, that there are some really high expectations for you every year, that maybe you're more than perhaps are fair?
For sure, and I mean that's what I'm hoping every year. Have the opportunity. People are hope on me, and I know this organization does. And I do the same with the organization. We both want the same at the same time. We want to win. I want to win. I know this organization want to win. So that's what I work in every single day. Sometimes I put myself aside, my own things. But my mentality since I started playing this game has been about winning games. And right now we're in a good stretch. Knowing it's going to be a short season with a lot of opportunity to be in the playoff, and God knows what happened after that, but my mentality is to win games, and really happy we're doing it right now.
It just seems like ever since you, even going back to 10, every year it's like we like Elvis, we think he's good, but we think he can be better. It's like every year we think there's more out of this guy. Have you ever felt that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, especially after 2017, 2016, 17, when I I kind of put it together as a player, especially offensively. I mean, I know I have serious, severe talking after I got my arm broke, and that's my fighting right now. I'm fighting hard. I'm working hard to get back to the player I was, especially offensively, before I got my arm broke. So I know it was not gonna be easy. Still working on it, but I know that the Elvis that everybody saw in 2016, 17, there's plenty more in the tank.
We got a couple Spanish. Anything else in English? Take one more in English, Levi.
Elvis, I have a question about tags at second base. I've been asking a couple of people about this, and I've noticed that sometimes you'll get guys that'll straddle the bag, like when a runner is coming from first on a steal, they'll like to straddle the bag and have the bag sort of between you and catch it there. And then other times I've seen guys stand closer in front of the bag and kind of catch and turn. Other times you see guys a little bit further towards first base. Can you explain what sort of differences might cause you to be in different positions?
Well, yeah, I mean, as a defender, everything changed since we had the replays. Because before, usually you put the base in front of your legs, and just trying to kind of like old school tag. Now with the camera, they're literally telling you to stay in front of the base, knowing that you'll get to the ball quicker, and as soon as you get the ball, just even if he's safe, you maintain the tag. Because even sometimes in our eyes doesn't look like he get off the base. You know, when we do the slow motion replay, he show up a lot of times where, you know, guys get off the base for, you know, a microsecond and he's out. So as a runner, it's tough. I think it's something that in the future be really happy to see that rule kind of take away. You know, just leave it as the umpire call it, kind of like before, because it's tough. And like I always say in previous year, you know, having these cameras and this replay and players knowing that you have to literally stick to the base as soon as you touch it or you know dive, is going to cause a lot of injuries, because it's going to be a lot of pull legs, a lot of pull quads, a lot of fingers, or, you know, anything can happen if you're trying to stay or stick to the base. So it'd be nice to see this rule kind of change a little bit moving forward. But right now, it's just, you know, you play with what you got right now.
Okay, I'll go to Pedro and then Eric. Go ahead, Pedro.
¿Qué tal, David? ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, Pedrito.
Preguntarte, Chris Woodward ayer en la rueda de prensa post partido decía que tanto tú como Rudy son dos peloteros de que él tiene altas expectativas, sobre todo en el aspecto ofensivo, y que cuando ustedes obviamente no producen, el equipo sufre. Esta serie que tuvieron este fin de semana es para ustedes una catapulta de alguna manera, teniendo en cuenta que obviamente, como ya se venía diciendo, es una temporada bastante corta.
Sí, no, yo pienso que sí. Yo pienso que todos sabemos, pues, como todo el mundo lo ha dicho, este año no es un maratón, sino es una carrera corta, un sprint. Pero no, esa es la mentalidad que hay que tener este año. Es una de las cosas que se ha hablado en el clubhouse. Sabemos que nuestro manager va a tomar decisiones drásticas, va a tomar decisiones diferentes, y que todos tenemos que confiar en sus decisiones. Empezando por mí, y es una de las cosas que tratar de quitar el ego, especialmente este año tan corto, quitar el ego del clubhouse, del campo, y estemos donde estemos jugando, en el orden que estés bateando, la posición que estés jugando, dar el 100% de ti para ganar. Y bueno, esta serie que jugamos, que la ganamos los 3 juegos, una serie muy importante para nosotros, y esperemos que sea el comienzo o el repunte para seguir ganando series.
Eric?
Elvis, gusto en saludarte. Hablamos mucho de la temporada, que es muy corta, los primeros 10 juegos prácticamente, los primeros 8 juegos, con muchísima énfasis, muchísimas críticas hacia la ofensiva. Afortunadamente llegaron estas 3 victorias, y cómo se deja el estrés ir, se va un poco el estrés después de esas 3 victorias, y cómo manejar esa presión que hubo, porque hubo presión en los primeros 3 partidos, una presión mediática hacia todos los ofensivos.
Sí, no, uno entiende, y eso es una de las cosas que trato de enseñar a los muchachos jóvenes en especiales. La presión de la prensa siempre va a estar ahí, y una de las cosas que he aprendido en mi carrera es saber cómo separar de la prensa de tu juego, de mantener tu confianza, de mantener tu trabajo fuerte todos los días, y eso es una de las cosas que enfatizamos más que todo la semana pasada, que no nos fue muy bien como equipo, y una de las cosas que decíamos era eso: vamos a seguir trabajando fuerte, vamos a seguir enfocándonos en nuestra meta, que por tener una semana mala no quiere decir que la meta ha cambiado, y eso es lo bueno de la pelota, que mira, ganamos 3 juegos seguidos y ya el ambiente cambia, la mentalidad cambia, así que es parte de la pelota, y como pelotero la entiendo de esa manera. En realidad no me molesta ver crítica o escuchar malos comentarios acerca mío o acerca del equipo. Yo pienso que siempre me ha ayudado, o lo utilizo para que me motive a salir adelante y demostrarle que este equipo tiene muchísimas herramientas para no solamente llegar a la postemporada, sino ganar también.
Okay, guys.
Gracias.